People, Season 7 of WWE SuperCard has landed, so let's get on with the action. Okay people, I've donned the reading bins because we've got to concentrate on this. Concentrate very carefully because it is the launch of Season 7 WWE SuperCard. So I want to see how I'm getting on now straight away. You can see I'm Biomech tier. Biomechanical is a bit of a mouthful. They could have come up with just one word, sticking hyphens in the middle. I'm calling it Biomech from now on. Just economy of words, although it's taken me 4 sentences to say that. But what I'm doing, I'm just going to quickly scroll down and check through all the achievements. This is probably going to be an annoying thing, I would guess, at the outset, when we've already done a lot of these things. But it's a good thing for people who are just starting the game. It's going to give them a chance to get a few coins. A little bit of coinage doesn't hurt in this game, does it? And also, I guess, things like Pro a Card, what have you, that's something that they'll be learning as they go along. So it's a sneaky little reward for doing the basic stuff. But by the looks of it, we're going to get it all as well. I mean, like proing a Primal card, proing a Vanguard card, all that kind of thing is still to be done. So I guess if you're desperate for picks, just go back through some of the weaker cards that you'll be collecting as you go through the game. And do a quick pro and you'll get yourself 10 or 15 picks. Alternatively, you could have just started. You could be here looking for wisdom and tips and tricks and knowledge of this great game of ours. Great game? Don't know if it is. Is it still great? I'm not sure. I wasn't so sure a few weeks ago. Now I'm thinking, perhaps it's not so bad. Because I put a lot of effort into this Season 7 refresh. It really is possibly the biggest refresh that we've had. I'm liking these coins going up in value. I'm sure we're going to hit a cap at some stage. What are we up to now? 250. 250. Looking good. And still got a few to go. Biomech, here we go. 500. Surely can't go any higher than that. 500 coins. This is not so bad after all. Maybe it's not so irritating. Maybe it's a brilliant thing. Now that Behemoth card, you'll have noticed I'd already picked up my loyalty pack, which you get at the start when you first log in. That one caught me a bit on the hop. But I did get the Ms. Elizabeth deck card. As you can see, she's parked right there. I'm very happy with that because she's in alignment with the pancakes, which is useful. But obviously, top tier card like that, 2 stats to deck throughout whatever it is you're doing, that's pretty cool. Pretty cool. Now, there's only going to be a few dregs in amongst these super coins because if you've seen my previous videos, you'll have seen me collecting, buying the Samoa Joe cards with various types of PvPage and contractage from the ladders, Money in the Bank type activities, and I should have perhaps converted more, doing more sensible things, but I didn't. So I've got about 50, was it 55 grand? I've missed it now. I'm just having a quick look through other massages. Just see if we've got anything else. Do you know what? It's still quite a way to go there in Biomech. Right, collections. Now I was pointing these out in my Bluffer's Guide. If you caught that just before Season 7 launched, there's some useful stuff in there still valid, or still very much valid when it comes to some tactics. But yes, I'm assuming I'm going to have just about every tier here to collect. Again, this is a great idea if you're just starting out, particularly, and you get these 3 specific cards from Neon or Shattered or what have you, and it gives you a chance of getting a card from the tier above. That's a good thing. I like that. I like that thinking. That's nice thinking. Could easily have made it just from the same tier, and it would have been okay, not much use. But to make it from the tier above is a real sort of progressive looking forward thing. I like that. I do like that. Yes, forgive me for not looking at the camera too much. I really am concentrating on this. I just don't want to make any mistakes. You end up buying the wrong thing, spending some of these valuable super coins. Because it looks great. You've got 50 grand, 100 grand, 200 grand, 400 grand. Fantastic. I'm sure they're going to go very quickly. And the question is not so much what can you buy now, It's what do you keep in hand for the next few weeks? Because you would assume, let's take it from not the fact you've just started. Let's take it from you've been playing for a while and it's put you in biomech tier to start off with. You need to be thinking about how quickly you're going to how quickly you're going to say this sentence. That's how quickly you need to be thinking. How quickly you're going to progress from biomech to swarm, because it's not going to be worth opening everything you can right now if you're going to move up to swarm in the next couple of days, week or so, and then have a chance at hitting higher cards. And by that, I'm not talking about just the packs in the superstores. I'm talking about things where when you click into it, it says the rewards being offered are relevant to your tier. So if you're in biomech at the moment, I'm assuming, we'll check shortly, but I'm assuming that the highest thing you'll be able to collect will be swarm. So you want to be thinking about how quickly you're going to get into swarm, in which case the highest you could be collecting is behemoth. Behemoth! Try saying that normally. Behemoth. I just did. Right, this is going to get annoying. You're going to have to start jumping into achievements every 5 minutes and start claiming for all the little things that we've done. It's not going to get annoying now. It's picks. It's free picks. Stop moaning, Big G. You're moaning. It's taken me, how many minutes am I in? About 7 minutes in, and it sounds like I've had my first moan. I wasn't going to say I'm not moaning, but I kind of was. Can't really argue against that, can I? Right, so let's tidy this up. I did think I was going to struggle to talk through this because I would be concentrating so much, but actually I haven't stopped talking, so probably I'm missing something horrendous that's going to affect me for goodness knows how long, but let's just keep going for now. In fact, what I may need to do, thinking about it, my timings on this, I'm already taking far longer just doing this than I anticipated, so what I may have to do is take a break in mid collecting because I've got other things I need to be doing. I'm a busy man. I'm a very busy man. My mates have had time to do this even. So, right, where am I going? The fusions. I was whacking a few fusions in just before we left these tiers for good because I did have a few gaps. I was missing Braun. I was missing Braun Strowman from that. Looks like I've missed out on Braunicus then, and I don't know what I was going to do here. In fact, was Braun in that tier? Can't remember now. I was missing Braun Strowman from one of them. I was hoping that one of those two would be Braun Strowman, but it's not. So as you can see, I was a bit surprised that they stuck the biomech and the swarm fusions in straight away. I could do with still proing these, to be honest, because they'll help my Road to Glory. Sorry, they'll help my Road to Glory deck. Okay. There's no need to jump in. See, this is exactly the type of thing I'm on about. Let's not jump in. Let's not go crazy. Crazy. Yeah. So I could do another one of those now, but then I'll have to pay 250 credits to do biomech or swarm. I think. Oh, I don't know. What do you reckon? Let me know in the comments down below. Should I go ahead and do the biomech and just cuff off the SummerSlam 20 cards that I've got and not worry about proing them? Are they going to make that much of a difference on my Road to Glory deck? Probably not. It's full of SummerSlam pros as it is. Well, they seem to have saved all my picks for me. How many of these shall I do? The risk of irritating you lot. I'm not going to sit here and do all 233. What should we do? Should we go down to 200? What shall I do? Don't know. It's just a few. Just a few. Come on. We're waiting for the important thing. You know what I'm doing, don't you? Ah! Here we go. Grand Metallic. That's actually not too bad. Again, if you've seen one of my Season 7 preview videos, it was the catalogue one where I was going through the cards. I quite like that image. It's got it fits in with this kind of Terminator biomech type feel. Right, now then, seriously, shall I clear it down to about 200 or perhaps not? See, this is the beauty of this draft board now. You can go, well, I've collected 5. I'm bored. Don't want to do that anymore, and just jump off and do something else. Maybe go to 210. Maybe go to 215. Maybe go to 1. Oh, come on, give me a sudden early pull. Go on, you know you want to. What I'm actually thinking is I could do with these cards to start help feeding up some of the new cards I'm hopefully going to be collecting. So Grand Metallic becomes my first card of Season 7. Biomech Freebie, which I would assume as a single isn't going to actually make my Road to Glory deck, and it's not going to make my top 8 cards either. In fact, I know it won't. So, what to do? What should I do next? So yeah, there we go. I've hit my first wall. Just thinking, let's collect this. Still got all those tickets. Do I open some of these? This again will be an example of what I was talking about. So the top I could possibly get there is a Swarm card. I might be tempted to open a couple. Should we open a couple? Just to see how we get on. This could be a waste of tickets. Mind you, it never really gives out much, does it? No, I hate it with those blooming enhancements. They always seem to be like the best tiers, the enhancements, and they just get you going thinking you're going to get something. Right. No, Elemental and a couple of flipping WrestleManias. Well, yeah, useful for feeding cards up, but I don't want to be feeding cards up. I want to be getting some of the good stuff. Show me the good stuff. Okay, so there's going to be it's John Cena. SummerSlam 20 out of it. It's not too bad. It's a new card for me. I haven't got Mr. Cena so far. I didn't want to be opening all these. Oh, it's going to troll me, isn't it? I knew it! I flipping knew it, you. Oh, I'm going to do one. I'm going down to 100. Well, 107. I'm just going to do this last one. No, well, 2 SummerSlams. What have we got? Scarlett, lovely Scarlett, and Shawn Michaels. Not bad cards. But in terms of actual gameplay, they're pretty redundant now, aren't they? Wait while I growl a little. What shall I go to next? What can I do? Shall I go back to the draft boards? Nonsense. Get some more picks. These picks are going to be building up quite nicely. How am I doing for time? Okay, I'm going to need to take a break in about 10 or 15 minutes. See how we're doing. 10 picks. Was that it? Achievements still. Another 10 picks. That's it, done, isn't it? Yep, okay. Right. There's the free pack. I suppose we could look at the packs. Yeah, I'll start again. Hands up. That's all I'm going to say is I've been a bit of an idiot. I don't know why I did it. You'll see the 7,600 credits there. I'd given myself a budget of 50 quid to use on Road to Glory and events and things. And instead of like just using it when I needed it, I'd have whacked it all on the game at the start. So now, of course, the temptation is: do you just blow it all on a pack? My feeling would be no. I'll tell you why. Because you're only going to get a single out of these if you're lucky enough to get a single, and to actually make a difference in my deck, it's going to have to be a pro. So one of these little packs, it might be worth a little sneaky hit on one of those little packs. But as for the big packs that we used to, let's try this. Let's give this a little go. There's going to be a lot of umming and ahhing now in these in the next few minutes while I'm looking at these packs. Oh, what do? I mean, that would leave me with just £2 grand. What do we do on the female side? See, that's not bad. It's guaranteed from the new tiers. Again, it's only be a single. I do go on a lot about single females. So you get one single female, and it gives you a better chance of getting a pro, because they're not easy to find in this game, are they? Females. They'd be no use to me. It's whichever of those two that would land that would help. Oh, what do you reckon I should do, people? I'm not of a mind to be spending big bucks at the moment. Seriously not. I might try cheeky. I'm tempted on a cheeky. Don't know, I'll have a look later. Right, what haven't we done? So we've got to track down the actual the store, the Supercoins store. That's going to be an important place to land. It's not really worth doing any game playing at this stage. There's King of the Ring, I suppose, I've got to think about. Hey, here we go. Right, Superstore. What do we get from Platinum? 2 of the following. So that could be WrestleMania. Oh, that's rubbish. I don't want to go in there. We don't want things that's going to give us chances of cards that are below the actual new tiers, so we can forget those. What do we got in grab bag? See again, Primal. What do you imagine if you got Primal cards from that? Forget it. Well, that's more like it. Well, Riddick Moss, obviously not going to be one of the biggest players in the game by any stretch of the imagination, but there's a chance for pro there for 30 grand, 2 of those packs. Or a single, is it? Oh, it's any single, okay. Cool. Robert Stone Pro, now his stats are fairly low by the looks of things compared to what you could get. Well, it's 12,600 for a guaranteed pro. Or do you just sit on the coins? Do you just sit on them? I don't know. Oh, hang on. 20, what am I doing? 13 grand. Stop saying 20. So what was that? 6,300. So 12,600 for the boy above, or 13 grand for a chance of a random, which could be a lot better. I quite like the sound of that, you know. Quite like the sound of that. The rest of this is just going to be a bit of fluff and nonsense, isn't it? I quite like the sound of the Biomech Pro. I don't know what your early feelings were when you first hit the Superstore. I quite like the sound of a chance at something better than what they're offering as a fixed Pro for a slightly cheaper price. Nice card backs. Mixed bag, yeah. I'm tempted by that Pro. No, I could probably still afford Robert Stone. He's not great, is he? I know it's a guaranteed Pro of Robert Stone, but I'd rather go for spend the extra 400 and go for that. But I think while I've been doing this, I've made up my own mind. I think we're going to be scrolling back up in a sec. Yeah, I think that's the thing to do. And what I'm going to do is get the fixed Swarm Pro, because that would be good for the deck. To actually have a Swarm Pro. I know it's, again, he's not going to be the best card, but it's going to be a while probably before I can get there. So I think we'll go Riddick Moss Pro. That's 30 grand gone. And that'll still leave us 13 to do the Biomech Pro. And leave me enough probably to just be a couple of grand short of doing another Biomech Pro. So I'm sure a few matches played here and there over the next few days will get me back up to 13 again. So here we go. Decisions made. Decisions. Tyler Breeze. I mean, I like him as an entertaining thing for all the things he's done in the past, but in this game, I mean, his stats probably could be better there, just at a quick glance, than Stoney. Okay, look, it could have been better. Well, it is better, to be quite honest. It could have been a better card from the deck, but it's not. But it's a pro, so that's useful. And Riddick Moss, I'm going to go for. Let's take him down now. Take him down! Get him in the crew. Guy, yeah, if I just saved some of those other super coins, not sort of wasted so much trying to get that Samoa Joe card. Again, you know, when you're playing the game, sometimes you think, oh, come on, let's give it a go. It doesn't always, it's not always the most beneficial thing. That's why I was a bit cautious coming into this, to be honest. Yes, 11,774. So it's not too bad. Only needs 1,300, 1,250. Well, 1,226 to be precise. So I don't know how long that will take in gameplay. What do you get? About 40 or 50 super coins for winning a Money in the Bank, which is automated these days. It's automated these days. Season 7, new days, automated days. So I think that's not a bad. It's not a bad shout. So let's collect a few more of these, which we can start to feed in. Actually, let's have a look and see if I can just do this without faffing about. Let's just get these powered up as quickly as we can. I might actually just spend a few of these credits. But look, for the purposes of this video, I'm going to power these guys up and put the games on in the performance center, get them pros, and see where that leaves us. Achievements. What's the time now? Oh, I've got about 4 minutes. What I'll need to do is pause things and come back to it. What I'm going to do now, people, I've got to rush off and do some work-related things. When I come back, we're going to get into those cards that I've just collected. You've just seen me collect there. We're going to pro the Swarm card. We're going to pro the Biomet card. I'm going to use the Performance Center with some of those credits to play their games. And we can see where that leaves us. And then after that, I'm not sure. There's still, I think, a few things to explore. So don't go anywhere. Right, here we go. Let's get some proing action underway. Oh, of course, yes. And styles and techniques. Styles and techniques, as we know, important. It's the new factor, the new thing that can help you win a bout that perhaps you think you're going to lose, or indeed give you extra strength going into a new bout. Yes, John, we know about this. I've done videos on this, John. We know what's going on. Mr. Chinar, go away. Oh, jeez. Yes. No, yes, no, yes. So defend is basically the technique that I've got for Mr. Moss. I'd be interested to check what I've actually got on the other card. As I said to you previously, if you've seen the videos before, a reversal was the one that quite took my fancy. We'll check that out shortly. I'll just get this done. And there's John Cena, of course, at the top. The question now is, can I be bothered to pro some of those neon cards that I've got as singles? And the answer is, if I've got 2 of them sat there, is yes. So I'll just lock those down and see where else we go. Everything else, as you can see, is more or less, I've had pros in the past. Gosh, I don't think I've studied neon cards so closely for several seasons. So I'm actually, I'm not bothered with Gothic. This is, I know this is really, it's also almost OCD-ish in trying to get these cards as pros, but it does help the catalogue. It looks good when you've got as many cards in the catalogue as possible, doesn't it? These all support, so it doesn't matter. Right, let's feed those in. 49 is probably a little bit more than I was expecting. I must have had quite a few stashed away there. Right, let's do these in doubles, because some of these probably won't have any cards available at all. As you can see, some special event cards or special fusions or things from events in the past that I only managed to get singles for, I've kept them because every now and again they'll chuck in a couple of old cards in a Road to Glory. You'll suddenly see some of the old special cards that they've had in the past appear. So it's worth keeping on with those if you want to fill out your catalogue. Basically, you don't have to. I know some of you couldn't really care less. Gobbledygooker, I've already had him in the past. So talking of Gobbledygooker, I'm doing this on Thursday, and I have a suspicion that he will be appearing this weekend as part of the, it's traditional, isn't it? It's the traditional time of year. It's a traditional event card to bring out when you're in to these 3 new tiers. So I'm expecting some kind of food-related fusion event coming up this weekend. Could be wrong, don't know. We shall see. Right, this is still quite a boring part of the game, but I suppose if you're not bothering to keep some of the smaller cards, you can see all the little individual ones I've got. Generally, if they're not fusions, like Mr. Lee there, they are things from special collections in the past. I'm not talking about actual event cards, because you're never going to get a chance to pro those up if you missed one. There's a few events in the past where I've just had the one card. I'm talking about the sort of special things like the gobbledygooker I've just been talking about. I will keep those just in case they make a reappearance as a little pack filler somewhere. Right, okay, that's number one down. Now then, oh, that looks like reversal, overrun. I've got reversal on the brain. Overrun's not bad from what I've seen in the testing I was doing. I'll possibly stick with that. I don't know. I have to think about that. So this is where the decisions have to be made. When we come to Pro, Mr. Moss, it will give us the choice of what technique we want to carry over for this particular WWE SuperStore. Reversal, like it's the thing I like about reversal is it's instant, and it's in a bout that you're doing now. It's a bit frustrating. What I've not had a chance to experiment with is if you get something that says it's going to boost the stats in the next bout, that's fine in a Road to Glory or a Money in the Bank or something. But if it's just a one-on-one match or it's the last bout in an event, does it carry over into whatever you do next? I shouldn't think it does. So what I like about reversal is if you've lost that particular bout there and then, there's a chance to flip it on its head. It will choose different stats. So I can see that being particularly useful when you've got a card where it's a bit 50-50. If you get called out on the right stats, whether it's power, technique, speed or charisma, you could win. But if it calls out the wrong stats, you naturally think you're going to lose. But then reversal can kick in and it turns into a win again. Right, come on. Nearly there. We are nearly there. I'd forgotten about these, to be honest. Come on. Let's go, go, go. Right. What are we going to go with? I need to unlock them first before we go anywhere. And then we'll do Tyler. Just bear with me while I put the games on. I wouldn't ordinarily do this. And now that we've got... I'm doing this for the purposes of the video and because I am sitting on those credits. Ordinarily now you've got autoplay on just about anything going. There's no real excuse to need to use the Performance Center for this kind of thing, surely. You just have a little bit of patience, whack them on autoplay in Royal Rumble or something and let them get on with it. Anyway, I'm still thinking about what stats will I carry over. It's an either or, to be quite honest. I'm not sure. These are things that we're going to get used to. We're going to see the benefit of them. It's one of those things where we'll just have to see how it goes. I've gone with overrun, but we need to see them all in action, really. I guess what I'm going to have to do on these first few cards is just spread the love. Spread those styles around. Sorry, the techniques. Spread the techniques around the various styles and see what I like best. See what suits me best. See what saves me the most. I guess you need to play for a couple of weeks with the different techniques in place and see what you feel. Thinking about it, I mentioned earlier about how reversal is great because it's instant, but some of the others are great if you want to then move on to the next bout. You almost could be forming squads with different techniques for different events. So a Road to Glory, something like that, you might want something that's going to boost the stats for the next bout. Whereas something like Wilds, you probably want to have something that's going to kick in straight away. I don't know. We'll see. It's all part of the fun. Experimenting with new stuff. We love new stuff. New stuff's rocks. Okay, so let's see what we've got in here. I have to start hitting some cards soon. Yes, we've proed a card. We are the kings of proing. Now, let's see where we are fixed. He's quite happily sat there in the top 8 for now. See if I get, I'm going to need to get another Biomech Pro to hit into that top 8. It's no good just getting a single or a single swarm. Right, let's just chisel from the bottom. It's probably the best method. Just wondering about if I've got anything in here I can sacrifice. Oh, I don't like getting rid of event cards, but you can only sit on so much. I mean, Big Show. Last man standings, and it's Bret Hart. I can't get rid of him. Oh, I know some of you are going to be cringing at this point. Get rid of the event cards, but they're still there in the catalogue. You know you did it. It's just there for show. It's there. Well, it was there for Big Show. Big Show's now gone. He's not there for show anymore. Right now, I think I'm going to have to go and have a look at the. Sorry, what am I thinking? I'm thinking, shall I go into the Biomech and do him now, or shall I get a few more picks off the board to see what's available? Do you use something big, or do I go to the Gothics and the Neons? Possibly go to the Gothics and the Neons and start filling in from the bottom of what we've got. Yeah, I haven't asked you yet what you guys got. What did you get? What did you get? Did you get anything good? Did you get anything exciting? I mean, it's broken down, I suppose, into 2 parts. There's what did you get as your freebie? So that will reveal what tier you were in, obviously. Most people I've seen have been in Biomech tier to start off with. So what did you get as your freebie? Would be the interesting thing to start off with. And then what kind of packs did you open? Did you spend all your super coins at once? Have you saved some for a bit later? Just have a look at Elemental. I know I'm going to need to use some of those in the fusion chamber. That's the problem. It's not easy deciding what to sacrifice. So I wanted to get Eddie as a pro. Oh, and Batista. I can do those later. You see, the angst you go through saving some of these high level cards, trying to get the pro. Eventually, they're going to be like Neons. They're going to be like Gothics. They're going to be like commons and uncommons. They're going to be so easy to get the pro. You don't have to worry about it. I don't actually need these elemental pros, to be quite honest with you, because I haven't got any of them in. I don't think they're possibly in Giants Unleashed. Possibly. I don't know. I think now's the time to be bold. Get rid of some of these elementals. Johnny Gargano. We made it, Johnny Gargano. Right, Tyler 1 is just about done. Tyler 2 is ready for you. So let's do the usual games. Let's get the Game Boys in action. I'm not going to do the pro version of Mr. Moss. That he can earn his keep. He can play some matches to do that. This is just for these pros, to get them pro'd up. Wow, it's a lot of credits if you think about it. This is like 1,600 credits we've just spent. So that's probably about 15 quid's worth. So there's a lot of credits when you think about it. Maybe I should stop making videos again. I don't know. It's cheaper. Right, where are we at now? Need to get him pro'd. So, as a high flyer is Mr. Breeze. We're going to take reversal because I've told you several times already. That's the one for me. I'm flagging a bit here. You can probably, when I did the first half of this video, I was all full of the joys of coming towards Christmas and thinking about holidays. Delving back into work and realising just how much I've got to do before Christmas and holidays has kind of brought my mood down quite considerably. So, is it right one flyer to another? I think it could be. It's time. It's time for Ray to go. I just don't like doing this. I just don't like getting rid of cards. Right, it's taken us up to Biomech plus a plus. We're inching up on Swarm. Not by much, I probably imagine, but we're just getting a little bit closer. Just a little bit. Oh look, I've only just broken into plus plus. I don't think another Biomech Pro is going to make an awful lot of difference, to be honest. Could take a little bit longer than I was first thinking. I thought it might be given a couple of days. You could get up a tier. I'm just going to have a look at this card again. Is this worth doing? Still got over 6,000 credits. So if you've got a behemoth card, then it's like, okay, now we're talking. 15% chance. I'm so glad they've introduced that information button so you can actually see the percentages now, because any pack that says 1%, you've got a few credits, it's really not worth it if you have got a few credits to spend. I really should save these for the events. I got these, this was my budget for events for the year. This was for the extra picks in Road to Glory and things. Extra points, sorry. I don't really want to blow it on one pack where you could end up with something that is just not going to make any difference to your deck at all. Females, she's not going to muscle in. A Swarm single isn't going to muscle into what I've got at the moment in my top deck. And these packs, I think I decided these weren't worth it, didn't I? So I'm having to do a little reminder, a little refresher on some of these. Oh, look, people just increasing their tiers in Team BadLadDad. Good to see. Do you know what? 11,774. I need 13 grand for Biomech pair. I think that's what I should do. I think that's the wise investment. I think forget about coinage for the time being. I think I need to play some matches and just get the Supercoins built back up and get myself a pro. Let's just collect a few more cards. While we're here, it's the kind of thing we can do. I think that's probably it. I think that's probably enough to be going on with for now. I've spoken far too long. I've dragged you through the pain of picking up all those little extra picks and few credits for doing things that we've probably all done in the past anyway. So what's your verdict? What do you think? What do you think of old season 7? Old season 7. There we go. It's old season 7 already. So a day and a half in. What do you think of season 7? What have you liked? Is there anything you dislike? I don't think there's anything to dislike right now. I think everything's had a little refresh, and some areas have had a big refresh. Super move, great, 100% stats. Loving some of that. Draft board, being able to access it any time. Again, I can just step out. Don't need to. I'm just going to kick one of these off. Just to get some more picks. Just give me more picks. Because the more picks you get, the more refreshes you get, the more chances of getting yet another card for the top tier. But you know that, don't you? Well, I'm going to carry on playing. I'm going to say goodbye to you now. And I will see you soon. I managed to bang out 4 videos in the last 3 days. Can't promise things are going to be that active again. But certainly loving the game. Rekindled my love for the game, all these new bits and pieces. So I'll certainly be doing a lot more. It will be a bit of a grind because, as I say, I've got my budget on full display there, and so you'll be able to see if I've succumbed to temptation and spent it on something, or whether I'm still just chiseling away to get some picks for events. I think events will be the way to go. I'll wait to see what happens with Road to Glory. I suppose also need to see what else comes out in the packs. So certainly get something interesting in the pack store. Could be tempting, I don't know. Anyway, that's it, people. Answer all my questions down below. Let me know how you're doing. Let me know what you think. And of course, there's all the usual social media rounds you can be doing. We're on Facebook, we're on Twitter, we're on Instagram. More importantly, if you want to see some more of these, subscribe down below. Please subscribe. It's nice if you subscribe because it means that people want to watch it. And like as well. Likes help too. Likes feeds me with enthusiasm to do this. So please like and subscribe if you haven't already. And until I see you next time, you stay cool. Just a bit more. See you later.
People say to me all the time, "Hey Johnny Wrestling, what does it take to become a winner?" To those people I say, try watching BadLadDad's latest video. He'll show you just what it takes to become a WWE SuperCard champion.